Dear Sabe Chelsea Beshebe for.
Jesse Black nefe papa.
Jesse Black and dear Messi Omofabim Remy. Shop JD.
Omo Chelsea ni say referees for Jesse.
Referee for Jesse.
By Chelsea papa. Jesse nefe. What do we see the mission is say no. F papa.
I'm say referees Jesse.
I'm say referees for Jesse. By F me the MF.
Okay. Eba me sha ye be say referee for Atadia.
So we see the esen no. Nipa na ese no
eno so ka ho me ntimi nse Jesse ma on kan chem say Jesse na efe na nipa na ese no ye do se na sa kasa no ye kuruma kasa bi se watade obi sa atade na efe na wayi wo afrim din komo
atade na ma wo ho ayefe
din komo atem na odidi pa wadi atem na ntimi kan no kwenchiro
Ken you move on to serious business ene enwumrei tough match bako ewo Premier League nim West Ham and Chelsea. Very tough and difficult game at the both sides. You say Premier League na se no. Team a friend is West Ham. The first game okwa away to Sunderland okolusu 3-0. Chelsea first game ewo Stamford Bridge obo goalless draw against Crystal Palace. So two clubs ene nyumro mba kwesi akan no. Omo first game ewo Premier League no bi na obetimi win ye. So Obia enter the second game no Obia expected so Obenya win na wetimi dia compensate ne fans no. So what check West Ham bobuko na nse nyoma nkoye mfa mo. Hwomo last two coaches o metimi afa. Lopetegi ba ye nyoma nkoye. West Ham appointee Graham Potter. So far Graham Potter ekofa West Ham bobuko no nyoma nkoye. 20 games ana Graham Potter and West Ham metimi asi akan. We win just 5, a draw 5, a lose 10 games. The first game this season with Premier League was lose 3-0. So clearly, Graham Potter so befa Chelsea West Ham bobuko no nyoma nkoye. Sa offer Chelsea bobuko na this season expectation ne so at the match Chelsea. Based on the Chelsea year no our FIFA Club World Cup. Anyhow our Chelsea transfers na kono. Majority of Chelsea fans na expect say Chelsea ebetima perform very well our Premier League nim this season. Ken sa okay last season Adia ba ko ha Chelsea pani ye say top clubs our Premier League no we the top 6 big clubs our Premier League clubs are not on my way performance and so any kra na Chelsea ka ho who first pace of Manchester United the next club are not kwa we are na the performance any through ye Chelsea ye ran new season no Enzo Maresca ne Chelsea pese omo pepa sa the omo area in the last season say omo kwa we are no omo lose game no and at this time around Mainoo me anu ni obi o follow football bi anim say recently grounds ba kwa Chelsea kwa eya na ontimi enkofa win ento aso no eye West Ham bobuko do said the last time omo visit ye no omo konya win by say we expand Chelsea last 4 games against West Ham West Ham fia Chelsea win ba kope enti Chelsea ko West Ham fia no enkoye match a F4 minya abotrehwe Sunderland and West Ham first game no Sunderland West Ham 3-0 no. Utra nye ya scoreline ni be deceive. Bobby bi o share West Ham any Sunderland game no. So we scoreline no to nchen ya. Unse Graham Potter bobu a team no West Ham no enye extraordinary. By a difficult size so be show mo. Ade a me hu ni ye say Graham Potter ne West Ham ade omo ye no or prefer ne 3 back. Ne 3 back no or use Malik Diop as the left wing back. Now we use Bisaka as a right wing back. Sa 2 players no more pretty as wing backs no. Anytime you be initiate attack no baako ekwo nanim na baako stay. Na the 3 center backs no baako move akọ wide. Na we use ni goalkeeper. Hermansen no sa o involve with team play or mo build up no. The reason why Graham Potter and West Ham ASADN ye say on person mu invite opponent no e ma ne ba nim. The moment on be invite opponent na ma no ba nim no. Omo nim the strength of omo forward line no. Say ye full crook nebebo, Kalemos nebebo, Bowen, and Pakita. Sa 3 players no be lead attack e ama West Ham bobuku no. Duomo ye ne say ombeko high balls no, any long balls. So the main striker, Edema West Ham bobuku no, ebe pick the high balls. That's the first ball. Or pick we are grounds no, na kwa koye Bowen no a pick the second ball. Then a branch defense Pakita. Et me yes a late boss crashing. No free I run it behind. I be cop penalty box no for position. No ma try some of the best show goals. And no cry on first is see on my kind. So on first game against Sunderland, yenya West Ham obo 59 long balls, obo 29 crosses. enti ye bo bokuo baako a omo deal with long balls and crosses so se Chelsea betima stop saa de na eye nneoma mienu ene Chelsea wingers ebe ye key e wo saa game we mu West Ham embo natural wingers omo use omo wing backs no and omo try say omo de be expand the opponent saa omo wing backs no eye Abrante friend say Malik Diouf and Bisaka so se saa two players need to me nya time and surge forward e was a Chelsea nya wingers a omo betima gina wing backs ne so ama omo betima limit omo forward movement in this case Chelsea have a lot of options on the wing so obetima bo Pedro Neto on the left wing and also bebo Estevao on the right wing coach ne peso so bebo Pedro Neto on the right wing now we use Gatins on the left wing Chelsea have a lot of wingers so say Chelsea betimi unlimited team a friend say West Ham omo wing play ne kese pa na I just say Chelsea wingers no are effective for game nim most especially without the ball how won be pini West Ham for a wingers no on say West Ham elusu Edson Alvarez so e most likely say ebetima ye Susek and Guido Rodriguez e mfimfin ho so we check West Ham mfimfin ho the most creative midfielder e West Ham e Pakita sa midfielder no ono na time bi oje ball no so a wo expect Caicedo so be closing it down so in the midfield play Caicedo so be ye key e dey ama Chelsea and anwumre because anytime bi a Pakita abeje ball bia no wo expect say Caicedo betima up closing it down because ono na je ball no mfimfin ho a obetima create obetima turn a carry ball no akoma pass a ebetima ko full kruko anase ebeko ball win ho any player Callum Wilson so wo expect Caicedo say obe close Pakita e wo mfimfin ho se Chelsea 8 limit West Ham e wo wing so Chelsea estopo eye Pakita it means say Chelsea limit West Ham a omo ntimi create chances omo ntimi nyu omo crosses omo ntimi ma long balls no Chelsea betima continue omo Chelsea be control game no no ma limit West Ham bobuku no kin say what check Chelsea first game a Chelsea structure no enye problem sankamenya Chelsea structure na se Chelsea attack a structure ni ye clear ye attack pe Kukureya a wo bo as a left back move back inside now be move no kowanim kakra na ye close to the left winger ne say be ye Pedro Neto ne bebo say be ye Gatins ne bebo e was so ye close to him anytime ye be initiate attack no Enzo Fernandez this time around e was so kowanim ba obeko wanim a obe ye close to the right winger no say be ye Estevao say be ye Pedro Neto enti Chelsea structure no e clear with this structure Emma Abrante fence Kopama that freedom to move around because he is the main prime mover he is the main creator of Chelsea team no enti structure no clear by problem ni say what is structure na wie no kwan ba so na be fa so abie West Ham team nim na wonya space a wode ball no beto atenim e ho na ye Chelsea problem no enti kin say wo check Chelsea first game na on 568 passes out of that 568 passes no twade oyi unim say Chelsea omo forward passes na 22.7%. Omo first game no omo ball ya say Chelsea passes bebrebe no ball na ekwa anim ho no omo forward passes 22.7% and sideway passes no 67.8%. And how Chelsea betimi be West Ham team nim no and the key for Chelsea so be winning and then game no and also winning structure no the attack no excellent back space and to create space we hear a lot of interpositional change and a movement so Chelsea players no how we be interchange position how we be moving key at the match Chelsea and anwumre but we check West Ham bobuko na ken West Ham play at home no on be try some be bia but I still see Chelsea say slim advantage for Chelsea West Ham team na me hu you know and said that team me hu bebre Chelsea in a worst case in Pokro betima ko pick a draw or West Ham chrome a slim advantage for Chelsea moving on to some transfers Mamen ko Barcelona. Ken Barcelona board no enkoma akosu bebre. Na Barca board no ensem omodi aba bontinye. Barca board ne say, "Oye Barcelona e supporter na wo hwe me, na wo tie mi a." Femodin nyabotre. No mo Barca board no ehun say transfer we no Barca supporters na ni anje bebre. Na board no eni mpanyimfo no ye bibia say, "Omo de Barcelona be ko 1:1 rule no." Omo de Barcelona ko 1:1 rule na next season ye bie transfer ni say kukuro ote Barcelona di ndwane na next season Barcelona ba se kakai na next season Barcelona for prepare 200 million euros omo first two big signings omo shase ni omo di nkomo two big signings and next season Barcelona ashase ni omo di nkomo say no omo be sign a left center back no ma sign replacement for Lewandowski. Na sa 2 players or ma chance ni omu di nkomo sesi no. Left center back no Bastoni. Replacement for Lewandowski Julian Alvarez. Barca for say or ma chance ni sa 2 players ni di nkomo sesi. Next season omu 200 million euros. Omo dey cover 2 players we. Bastoni on the long-term replacement left center back Ediama Inigo Martinez. The long-term replacement for Lewandowski Julian Alvarez.
Barca is saying
omo prepare 200 million euros.
200 million.
And so say we a Barca fan transfer we no be ka sankoyi. Ba munya botre next season. What the Barcelona ebo onu we jane.
1:1 no ISNF less no. And
season bia
because he say I ask na the bia na.
Oh, but
season bia say o ma send the call next year.
On be solve it.
Last year Laporta said this year. This year call next year. But when you just studio say ne.
Omo say omo kura 2 omo chance any omo boys need di nkomo. Say omo benya pre-contract agreement at all.
Bastoni.
Anna.
Julian Alvarez.
Julian Alvarez.
Barcelona.
Yes. 200 million euros.
Next season.
Next season.
Yes, you're the Champions League in the moment.
Yes, Barca ebo onu adwane. Barca ebo because 200 asset. By say no mo pro mo kra boys no mo conform omo ntimi register say. Enti omo person omo nya pre-contract agreement. Enti we Barca fan na Femodin ensempa eba. Na ena no pay. Onim say enkoma akoso pa o Newcastle. Na enkoma akoso no nyina na Alexander Solot. Yes say anope Newcastle for mpanyifo ne diabrante ne ho nkomo pa akwa akiri. Ai say omo hwe anim say omo nya Alexander Solot na omo betima akwa akofa ne de free Atletico Madrid. On say last season of free bench na eba boy a second top scorer e wa Atletico Madrid with 24 goals in our competition. Enti on person omo kofa ne ba. Na minim Vlahovic minim da ye awakwa akosum. Vlahovic akache ni agent ne say so na Juventus this season na. Next season o person o Real Madrid. Vlahovic o see this season so na Juventus na we move here. Or send the agent Darko Ristage but say next season or no Vlahovic ebebo Real Madrid boku no.
Okay.
Minim Vima waka kunya. Bayern force so the reason why omo pay Nicolas Jackson na no omo pay backup for Hurricane.
Okay.
Na Nicolas Jackson there no omo pay ni loan. Chelsea for no so pay permanent deal. Enti weekend we no eye papa friend say Ali Barat ebechia Bayern in penyin for. Na Xavi Simons Chelsea there no after an enyumre game no on say Bayern and Leipzig e match. Leipzig in penny for their to Xavi Simons and him say so mobile match ni wia enyumre any weekend omni Chelsea be share so betima finalize deal na enti after an enyumre match ni ba ko hu de be see ticket ensem ne de bebre na wa hase bebre na wa
well any your Kwame Jela and the latest thing in so abano Edelson Bremu kakra na Jela de na wi
na ayana sometimes I feel for the Barcelona fans the 1:1 conversation anytime you resina you can want someone na akwa ite say dibia ebeba emma I get the arguments maybe me chira say no aka niema mienu na Barcelona nkwa sankasa akoma ewo so me kind of VIP seats echiro ene Barcelona for supporters social so no e de gula porta so say nsam no ka chiro no de bia osesa nsam no na if you do remember very well Barcelona de contracts ni ma Limac if you don't know Limac na AC Barcelona stadium no na Limac come fi Turkey. Now, the statement about Bontin was that Barcelona for Bewie Stadium answer already 125 years since in the stadium no be 125 years. Menoka say time almost share say Bewie Stadium atra over 200 days NBA until the stadium is opened VIP seats omudu omoni kosua be hu a auditors for ne be pass no sika ye hwe enmunum ede free VIP though Barcelona ekuta receipts of it but you cannot record it emreme chiro say ye kasa Barcelona ni sika enye say sika cash no muni biu cash in hand any cash at bank e wo ho okọ Barcelona account mu a the cash day nemom ye wo mra ye de La Liga you cannot use it. I to say make us say na me tell say one per clubs are rich e wo wiase a Newcastle ka hu bi enei Omobre Aston Villa sika cash wo ho, but they cannot use it because of mra chichiromo. Inti stadium now was say getting it back as soon as possible because 2 seasons in here Barcelona boka 180 million. Omoda so bobo mo jweki san kombo ball e wa Camp Nou a ka Barcelona ya richer by 120 million. Inti komo no heading. And not in a Laporta, you bends on getting the stadium done as soon as possible. So what to say? They be a Laporta and Kwanzaa Stadium. No, young one will Camp Nou. It is because he want to get the club back as soon as possible. You see, a hard thing. Na a abutre Laporta no me. Diana sometimes me so papa because Obia no see stadium no near friend Nickens. Japan. The Bartomeu. Na dwen se obebie stadium ni mo the contract ni mannequins for no obi anim dia ya Laporta bejema Limac and Limac so ya ache and no Laporta mo say Russia Ukraine run so ka ho bi am say dia ayeka enti antwen abotre until they get there my catch say the main game changer sa VIP seats no sika Barcelona fo benya over 100 million euros. Inteno de eba pe to adwemu bibia ye okay. Inti stadium na was omo ye ntam omo ya Barcelona ye okay. Dia to so bio. Ken no kwasampa wo mne say. Metie the interview of Ruben Amorim clearly. Then inji Onana. Na obi kan sam na osisi ni tira so timi so odwen ansam a onka Uncle Trigger Sembia. Onana, no, the coach is clearly not happy with him. Last week, Onana was fit. No, are you fit to play against Arsenal? And the coach say, Darby, being that pre-season, he needs to continue with Ata being there. And the boy never die because so Onana's not bench at the pressure better so, and Onana's not fear. And I Bayinde better go na Anfa. In the press conference, the coach defended Bayinde as if say master on the end number 1. Only for this week. You want to do gas for so be catch say. Edu de so ne Argentina players ne nam. Also be catch say. Sana coach way say ope Emiliano Martinez ama oni emiakasa Emiliano Martinez share the boss of beda but on convince the Manchester United board. It is a board for no tiasia. Sporting directors for no tiasia nka Emiliano Martinez ka coach no na epe no. It's clearly Ruben Amorim wants Emiliano Martinez. Sporting directors for no and the board of directors for no still no way insist to say Manchester United invest in Onana with to coach the man more. Say yes, sir. Clearly, Onana is the number 1 for Manchester United. No doubt, if he is fit, he keeps the goal. Make pass say Bayinde for Bayinde so da goal pa against Arsenal. Kobbie na twaso. The United goalkeeping situation, no, I was almost solving as soon as possible. Emrebiabo, Tama Peter Schmeichel, Manchester United J treble new pa, and also free club with Marco. Manchester could share 7.8 million euros and command Monaco for Fabian Barthez. Anfa between 99 and coping by 2005, goalkeepers Bapau. That was the dark zone of Manchester United goalkeeping department time. 99 to 2005. Omuto Weber, no asa. Omuto Weber, including Ricardo. Okay, Portugal goalkeeper no cheap penalty panoa. United are suffer until Manchester United. Ekoto Van der Sar. Van der Sar was around 34, age 34. He wasn't young. And Van der Sar ebe keep goalkeeping position is stable. And at the here so be keep on stable. If it working, in some clearly issues were. Say penny for an ecofa Le Mans, send Le Mans na or Royal Antwerp no. Penny for an ecofa nabo. The goalkeepers, in fact, the coach Sanka said they would Janua or Emiliano Martinez, but they need to solve it as soon as possible. They toss you. Chelsea and the West Ham dear. Sebi. a game wa nke wase ye kata ye ni e ka se Chelsea be sha dodo sen West Ham no me a boogie side for Chelsea our London Stadium until last year Chelsea ball mo 3 na the man come on very interesting na was so obi ama na niko game we wanna say seems like ball low blocks against Chelsea struggle blocks no coach Rebecca say I want to make the block I want high but coach is decided say me call low me be defend 5 players at the back Chelsea struggle and the last game shows clearly how things will be and now against Crystal Palace a football 5 at the back Chelsea struggled. Chelsea ball, passing ball ni bebre, created few chances. But a real game, no big chances. Sanka Chelsea created here. Now it was just 2 chances. No crowd, but late parts of the game. Meaning, say from minutes 1 or 8 minutes, Chelsea were just passing the ball around. No winning spaces on open. It is a West Ham United Grand Porter. Essence about 5 at the back. Send you see Nimuno. No, or call low blocker. How are Chelsea going to fare against such teams? That is where the conversation is. Chelsea a build up. Almost build it up in their 3-2-5. 3-2-5 on a 5 no way Nimuno. The idea is that teams don't want to defend or 4 defenders. It is a Chelsea the 5 players ekogu anymore. There is always one free man. Abono Chelsea our advantage bako when we are attacking. That is the importance of having 5 players up front. It is a Chelsea bo now opponents need defending in 4. Chelsea normally they always find a free man. Free man normal finding it easy. Because that biano bako a free. What about team that defend in 5? 5 na baba 5v5. Nature say 5v5 for the 1v1 obia afa ne yonko. Now say 1v1 na enya winger bia ne timi bo. Difference e wom no. Tio say me a winger na ma football na defender Asia me ne space e da nechi a. Obi o ho na ho den e America. Into wo ball no so a obe use pace to say Jimmy Kittens na ho den paye Mikatuo to a ball no so anu akwakofa. But say opponents need defending low blocker, you will not find that spaces. In such games you need wingers 1v1 omo ye good say eba crowded spaces say bia nipa mienu miensa ejina hold the ball ne manual on prepare ne ho pass ball no be kuta ball so you need some creative wingers ni bi. Internano me say coach then tries to we learn Estevao. Well, Estevao 1v1 are solid. And then Jimmy Giddens, someone who bebria. It was because onye enye style no. So opponents defender for Jimmy Giddens excellent. Ebi ofiechire ba and obey bibi. Inti Chelsea game no. The here pan say wingers na bebo Chelsea game no very important because as I say you obia what the ball ne manual 1v1 no betinye take on defenders. Because a winger needs to take on defenders and a be opponents no defenders nimu ema Chelsea team bobo Diouf no a omakofa na bobo left back no na one dem pa ye say okunenim ba ball no ni defender no me hu ni ye unless he start proving to me right back what Aaron Bissaka and saying so our body but Chelsea would have to hold these 2 guys and one no center backs in the West Ham there in case shouldn't have been a problem but senior Chelsea ball against Crystal Palace na ya Derby but I'm expecting Chelsea win. I was so far no more winning game Ken get toss to you Kobbie Mainoo situation no me who say a English media na agenda na coach ni Sumano. Listen, Kobbie Mainoo ye young ese so nya botre ne enya botre china. Kobbie Mainoo at the youngest age and na okobo England national team. Yeko Euros no. Open midfielders and na England national team e woni muji there was Kobbie Mainoo on the Declan Rice. Okay. Yam mo mumienu 6 and 8. Kobbie Mainoo no. Say obi na England national team woni muji there no say crowd wa yira to the stand say ye England national team ne ye players Adam Watson na Crystal Palace no kra no otra no. Into Kobbie Mainoo clearly, if he continues like this, he will be out of the English national team. And for the past 1 year, under Ruben Amorim, Bisa who say Kobbie will develop as a player now. It's clearly the English teams, the English press will start putting pressure on the coach to say, Makwarani mo body be. But
I'm already knowing about Fuka say. Question on
Wajapa because questions almost
say or buy an acrano or developer, which make us say or buy an acrano improve. And also they want to make us improve.
Say no, coach in the say about double P1. We have 2 central midfielders. Casimiro. So oniwa a Manolo Gatti nebo. Into number 6 no a Casimiro Gatti because of Awandino. And then number 8 no say coach this or Professor Obebo Bruno Fernandes. It is our Professor Obebo Bruno Fernandes. I mean, he said Kobbie Mainoo who 18 na Bruno Ababe Jibono.
And I was want to mean to Bruno.
On to mean to any day. On to mean to no cry. If what the coach is saying is here corner there, Kobbie is going to start the games from the bench.
Well,
and there's nothing to show such Manchester United games to be winning. The problem is say Manchester United epic goal was second half. Now or the Bruno Fernandes echo anymore. Why we are known you the Ogate mama bebo 8 because also so pressure or prevent a counter attack. They said the nano you won against Arsenal. So there is nothing to show say what's not being simple second half of bebo games no do doa. Into pressure you know. Say Kobbie person no can say develop here. He needs to look elsewhere.
Okay, team Ben.
What any problem? No, teams there.
Team Ben away.
He said there.
So West Ham. And
West Ham there. West Ham there. Any team I'm crying now will say someone.
Teams are saying and say why am Finfi ayama. Says Arsenal Finfi cry who be baby in Fabi Munche.
Ken
Chelsea and Finfi ayama. City and Finfi what answer Kwanda.
Oh, I am Rodri ni Tiani Rendes or Kobo him fa.
Kobbie Mainoo so also in your baby.
They so Kobbie as some days.
Say Newcastle cry bedding.
She said ni there. She said ni they drew na say Kobbie tina because window ne club back in me pacho. Arsenal 3 times we this Kenny nyina no. She 88 goals last 3 seasons. Last year she 91. And just last season yeah or say 69. From 91 goals to 69 goals. Not just a goals no a drop here. Solution to this problem. Akofa Noni Madueke. Wafa Victor Yokresh or the Berechi Eze Eka anymore for no. These are people who provide us now with numbers. Now, where to place a Berechi Eze? Me also Obiaya line up. I am for a Berechi go to left. Ken a Berechi, he's extremely effective as an number 10, not the left wing.
A horse no Odegaard jina.
A horse no Odegaard jina. Me feel the coach should take bold. On taking bold decision, Papa. Because
I don't
think I won't mean free.
Last season, Arsenal do not give us from numbers. 3 no, say 2 beko. Abeka Sakape. Biggie.
Ken.
Maybe I just in this year no. But draw no so ba. You didn't come on. I'm not draw no. And so by ABC games in the draw no. And young head numbers are airborne and area. Biggie.
Ken Mesha said you feel be Mainoo sa or you young enti I was so nyabotre. Can no more asking for Kobbie Mainoo inclusion. Kobbie Mainoo nankasa a onya ya nanko start games ya Manchester United. On any camp nyina na busuafo ni wiase nyina. Obi anim sa akoda ni sa. But emre bi e twam na Kobbie Mainoo be pie wo sa era ni mu a. You can pardon and understand that statement from the coach Ruben Amorim. But not today. Can make us not today because Ada Gule how many years? Or 20 years. As we speak. Or command a spot in the Real Madrid team. Obo. Edema Real Madrid Bobo. A team are very strong. Now a lot of quality in their midfield. But yet, 20-year-old Ebo. Kobbie Mainoo is also 20 years. Desire Doué. Last season and the performance is same for Paris Saint-Germain. Or command the spot Eboma Paris Saint-Germain. Ebo bon ye. Desire Doué is a 20-year-old player. Wababa Bekahun. João Neves. And open one of the best midfielders say we are here. Otimi Moboda only João Neves in film. Looking at the performance. Our dine did my Paris Saint-Germain Bobo Kono. João Neves for how many years? Or 20 years. Beshalami Yama. An 18-year-old player. She quality for Barcelona. Wa bobo to the stand and they world best players are. I'm not for boni this I am for Ballon d'Or mano. no the best player will be say or 18 years Kobbie Mainoo change the 2 years Paul Kubasi 18 look at the performance at Barcelona Kobbie Mainoo was 20 or Chelsea 2 years Miles Lewis Kelly obo for Arsenal as a left back and in the English national team is an 18-year-old player Kobbie Mainoo was 20 years kin in Kwadana Baba be ball to the extent say ene so obi sha no be pie team mu a on hwesa o sha te say mre bi a atwam o hwa ne ho no hwa ne qualities no feel so obetimi abon ko ade he deserves an opportunity to play not about age Ngomuha was 16 years Liverpool the playing time akoda da na free Chelsea a 16-year-old player emre bi a atwam no anka playing time kwampo money trim but Liverpool the playing time akoda da na Chelsea I'm an everyone about join Liverpool. Obey last season now. Liverpool shall see all the net and bench in certain games. And man, the cup matches be boy just because of the playing time they call that 16-year-old. And the coach in a seminar or Canada. Looking at the performance of these players, age in them. So Kobbie Mainoo fit into the scheme of work of Manchester United. Let the player know. Say on fit into scheme of work. Now fe what you in chain. On the other hand, I feel say coach at say. No heard your person why Manchester United again. Coach him said the honeymoon days are over. Ruben Amorim said the Nyama Nkwan Farmer last season no. This season, Manchester United supporters, Manchester United in penny for management of the team. And man metena senior dean. So mu coach and said Nyama Nkwan kan impoa. Ombe come manual to normal stand by the coach. Debbie, more expected results, any good performance, any an improved performance from the coach. And the coach into Resa Nema Winina. On to me to chacha. So he always has to go into games with the best. It's a hormone mini coach and he had done. And your two parties will be fighting for the interest. Kobbie Mainoo playing time because free England national team coach into few say on to me gamble with the position because pressure ebe ban so this season say Nema Nkwan. It is a coach and at the end of the day with decision is standing. If you think you don't need the player, just let the player know. Because Kobbie to one of Ken. Se Casemiro na start ahead of Kobbie Mainoo only problem. Bruno Fernandes is starting ahead of Kobbie Mainoo only problem. But one of the worst players Manchester United, our buy who ni impact Ugarte. Even when things are not going well. That time be Ugarte bebem no be baba be bona kwada net bencha. The obenyu no complaining. Until these things are normal. Coach and fan 90 from no taking the best decision. I be Manchester United club no. Okay, moving on. Ya bisa Pep Guardiola about a year Manuel Akanji any player I friend of Savinho say omo free Manchester City bobo ko ni mo ana and a coach and say omo ye part of his squad omo ka team na ho na emom transfer window ni nyan close ye no enema bebre betimi asi coach Pep Guardiola looking at these two players ekobase ojo omo kwa ma kwa I am sure Guardiola nankasa miminim no I prepare no has a better backup plan for these two players. If you are looking at Manuel Akanji, he's a central defender. Manchester City Bobo as we speak, our central defenders some quality was through. Our modern monsters was through. In the first game they played, young baller Ruben Diaz and John Stones, about Manchester City Bobo. In the absence of these two, Josko Vardio Feta from last season, even when he was given a makeshift role, or the left back position, he played it better. Obejina central defense he has that kind of quality to marshal the defense for Manchester City Bobo. And then play about Kobbie Miaka so by and Neman Shedam Famano was central defense Kuzanov. But clearly, looking at all these options, Ekobasa Manchester City, and Lucy Manuel Akanji, any problem. Position as Savinho, we talk about Savinho, yes, he's a good player. But Ken, Savinho at Manchester City, any extraordinary Premier League anymore. The first game of boy Manchester City Bobo. A lot of people were talking about him. You move you on man. Near future Manchester City Bobo and the new Real Mahrez. Looking at how he plays, the pace, the dribbles, and the movement, and in the BBR. But your boss is in New Year, you know. A branch the numbers in your BBR. Or share 1 goal per league in out of 29 matches and Omar assist 8 times. So Foden as a player. Last season, the future 1 year good season for Manchester City. Now the modern one can due to 1 or 2 reasons. Empo the bad season, you know. Or share 7 goals and assisted twice. Manchester City Bobo. It is a few Foden a fitter. That's a Savinho free Manchester City. Me who to Kobbie e ba beda. And in the first game I heard Premier League in no. Ball now Oscar Bob, a boy, assist against Wolves. I am not sure that the departure of Savinho be a problem. And the City no. Aside these players, there's Ryan Cherki, there's Bernardo Silva. I'll make me a boss makeshift wingers. And the Manchester City no. It is the Pep Guardiola Jaya Kanji. No Jaya Savinho. I'm on my car. Me who replay the effect negatively. Be a Manchester City so they have quality on the feeling in these spaces. And the Manchester City can.
Say United. Na oka Kobbie when you listen to Kobbie Mainoo sense me ya Kobbie Mainoo edie obro sa me for this me no so
me for this me no be
enye Casemiro ne Bruno na coach bi omo bodo
enti na me ka say
enti send ye na chese
me say Casemiro strategy Kobbie na Bruno strategy Kobbie Mainoo complaining. I'm not sure he can.
Now one strategy no be complain.
Say mistakes ba and also obi enhusu ni eyi bia fi na Ugarte ko bo na o te bencha.
Kobbie Mainoo so ya only Ugarte one bro.
Kin Ugarte ba Manchester United. Ni legacy and the previous club ewu but United wonya hwe.
Say coach natural rules no be. Was this say 6?
Say no. Ugarte ne Casemiro na April. Enti Kobbie Mainoo will be two na. Ezo ko
and see because
Bruno want to be
Kobbie Mainoo. United promised him the number 8. Bruno no in number 10. The reason why the English guys are mad, they say Bruno is number 10. And now coach no say 8 no so
na wo say Bruno 10.
Onana boy name say Bruno number 10.
Me coach.
No be name say Bruno.
Me coach me say 8.
David they say coach ni kasa na say coach ni feel say. And now no me interview anka say Bruno no opese Bruno ni banechi Bruno obo na 10 na Bruno be chinti clearly he's not happy with the 8 and we wakoto na 10 for me no aba and na would Bruno aba 8 meaning say na me 8 no harder than regard no what in common say
say o dey say Kobbie ya dia onto Bruno asem
na be na what Bruno
me just me kwama me be sisi ya me ba me commercial break ba